lyrics are catastrophic. Punchlines and metaphors leave you stiff like catatonics. Your thoughts are microscopic, your reality's a dream. My words offer freedom, so respect the Elohim. Spit the truth through the verse, let it spread like a virus. I offer you the cure, you know the sons of Osiris, architects of life, and it was written in the papyruses. So know who you are, so you never lose sight of. Call him King.
Yo, what's going on, YouTube? We're about to get into this knowledge. We've been having a lot of bad luck uploading this video, so we want to make sure we get this information out there. Now, a lot of people have hit me up in regards to the lessons and the stuff that I'm teaching the Warriors. So I just wanted to give a quick reply because I think one of my greatest regrets, if anything was to happen to me, was the fact that I wasn't able to pass this knowledge on to them. So with that being said, the Warriors are going to be talking to you guys about what they've been learning about, and my research, and what most of my research consists of is AIDS. Okay, and we're going to be not only discussing this, but we don't believe in belief, so we're going to be presenting facts and supporting documents to support this information. So our thing is to get everybody educated out there and to let the people know that the truth must come out and we must wake up as a people. So in understanding AIDS, Warriors, what do we know? That AIDS is not a virus, it's a what?
Agenda.
AIDS is not a virus, it's an agenda. Okay, is that our opinion, or can we prove that?
Prove it.
We can prove that with documentations, correct?
Yes, sir.
And facts. All right, now going straight into this, okay? Somebody give me the document written by Henry Kissinger. NSSM 200, okay? Now, is that an official document?
Yes.
Yes, it was declassified. That is an official document. They can Google that information, correct?
Yes.
All right, Zeke, tell us about NSSM 200.
NSSM 200 is when Henry Kissinger says that 80% of the population is people from African descent, and they're reproducing 60% faster. He also said that the greatest threat to us as civilization is India, Africa, Central America.
Okay, so that is correct. So in NSSM 200, a quick summary of it is the fact that Henry Kissinger stated that the greatest threat to Western civilization was overpopulation of Africa, India, and Central America. But when we researched these places, these were third world countries, right? Or what we call third world countries, countries that had no military or anything. So how could these countries be the greatest threat to Western civilization? What did he figure out? What did they figure out in the 1960s? Zeke just gave us the answer. He said they figured out the math. This has nothing to do with a virus. This is simple mathematics. If you can understand the math, you can solve AIDS. What they figured out in the 1960s was that melanated people, or what we call people of African descent, made up of 80% of the world's population. 80%, and they were reproducing 20%. They were reproducing 60% faster than non-Africans, or i.e. European people. Okay, so by doing the math, at that continued at that rate, what would happen to that European percentage? It would go down. It would go from 20 to 15 to 10 to ceasing to exist. So what they said is the greatest threat to Western civilization, they weren't talking about the U.S. as a country, they were talking about European people, was overpopulation from Africa, India, and Central America. So Henry Kissinger said, we need to do something about this, right? And that's exactly what they did. So when we're talking about AIDS, we're not talking about a virus. We're talking about math. We're talking about a simple calculation, okay? And NSSM is a real document. But we're going to break this down. We have the information on the documents to prove everything that we're saying right now. Nothing that we will be presenting today is speculation or belief. Everything is based on factual information. Okay? AIDS is not a virus. AIDS is a syndrome. It's a group of things. So, you know, the more things they can lump up in it, they said that you had AIDS. So AIDS is not a specific virus in dealing with AIDS. So we've understood that as well. So going into the documents, what do we know? That the first cases of AIDS in the United States, that's the first traces of AIDS in the United States, period, trace back to what, guys? All right, it traces back to 1,234 gay men. But what they won't tell you about these gay men is they all what?
Were recruited for the hepatitis B vaccine.
all 1,234 gay men were recruited by the government, by the U.S. government, to take an experimental hepatitis B vaccine. What happened to all 1,234 gay men, guys? They all died. They all died. Every last one of them died. They all died of AIDS, or that's right, AIDS-related illnesses. Now, that is not our speculation. We even have the original poster for the program. It was called the Last Chance Hepatitis B program, where they were recruiting these gay men to take this experimental shot. But they won't tell you is that shot was complemented from what program, B?
The SVCP program.
What is the SVCP program?
Special Virus Cancer Program.
The Special Virus Cancer Program. So this program, this Special Virus Cancer Program, shipped 2 shots, 2 vaccines, right? One of them went to a hepatitis B vaccine in Manhattan, New York, and the other one went where?
Africa.
To what?
Smallpox.
To a smallpox vaccine that went to Africa. Okay, now what is the batch number for the one that went to New York? Who has that?
751.
Batch number 751. So we have the documents to support everything that we're saying, but more and so was the recruitment of the gay men. What kind of gay men were they asking for when they were taking that experimental shot? Promiscuous gay men. Why would they want a promiscuous gay man? Because promiscuous men would sleep around with other men, right? They were flamboyant. Okay, so we see a clear attack. But what happens to the general public when this information comes out in the early 80s? What did they say? You know, they all got together, hung up posters. They said this was a gay disease. They said God came down from heaven in the 1980s and gave AIDS to the gay men to get rid of the gays. And you see people writing with posters, knowing that we're dealing with just math. This is the reason today why the president of Russia is paying people to have children. Is he paying African people to have children? No. Who is he paying? European people. He is paying them to have children. This is why Fox News has come out and has openly said we will pay our white people. We need to start having babies. They've went on news, the actual news channel, and said this. What do they know that the rest of the population don't know? That ratio, and then
80%.
that 80% ratio. And
now it's time for my word. Do your duty. Make more babies. That's the lesson drawn out of 2 interesting stories over the last couple of days. First, a story yesterday that half of the kids in this country under 5 years old are minorities. Know what that means? 25 years and the majority population is Hispanic. People are having fewer. Now, in this country, European ancestry people, white people, are having kids at the rate that does sustain the population. It grows a bit. That compares to Europe, where the birth rate is in the negative zone. They're not having enough babies to sustain their population. Consequently, they're inviting in more and more immigrants every year to take care of things. And those immigrants are having way more babies than the native population, hence Eurabia. Why aren't they having babies? Because babies get in the way of a prosperous and comfortable modern life. Peanut butter fingerprints on the leather seats in the BMW. The Euros are in particular can't be bothered with kids. Underscore that second point. A second story today reports that Vladimir Putin is so concerned about the declining and imploding population of Russia, he is paying couples to have babies. Imagine, procreating for cash in Mother Russia. Putin has taken this step because at the rate things are going, Russia will lose close to 45 million in population in the next 45 years. Russia will be 2/3 of today's population. This is not a good trend for Russia. And it won't be here either if that should happen. Put it bluntly, we need more babies.
Bothered. The Texas Academy of Science recently gave its top honor to a University of Texas biologist who says the Earth would be better off if 90% of the human population was wiped out. Professor Eric Pianka says people have grown fat, apathetic, and miserable. He predicts a disease like the Ebola virus will give the human population a much-needed correction. Here to talk about his doomsday scenarios from Austin, Texas, Professor Eric Pianka. Professor.
Yeah, I'm about to go in. Yeah. Let's get it. This is the manuscript, my lyrics are catastrophic. Punchlines and metaphors leave you stiff like catatonics. Your thoughts are microscopic, your reality's a dream. My words offer freedom, so respect the Elohim. Spit the truth through the verse, let it spread like a virus. I offer you the cure, you You know the sons of Osiris,